Yo team, what is going on? It's been 3 weeks, a month since you've seen a vlog, just because not that much has been happening. My life's not that exciting, so updating everyone with random stuff every week is quite difficult. What I'll probably do is I'm just going to keep them once a month or once every 3 weeks until I start prep, and then they will be weekly. So, on this week's vlog, myself and Robyn went to Oban, which is fucking cool.
Daydream. I fell asleep beneath the flowers. For a couple of hours. On a beautiful day. Daydream. I dream of you amid the flowers.
If you've never been, really nice place to go, although we were lucky because it was absolutely roasting, so obviously that makes everywhere nicer. Got a bit of a suntan, went on a little boat, done some other cool stuff. So if you're from Scotland, you're looking for somewhere to go, head up there. Stayed in a nice hotel, can't remember what it was called. Went to some nice little hut that does seafood, which can't remember what it was called, but it was amazing. Also went to some restaurant that was meant to be amazing and it was shit, so good all round. But yeah, it was a nice break. It's actually the first time in about 4.5 years that I've took time away from work. Not that I want any sympathy, but what normally happens is when I go on holiday, like when we were in Greece 2 years ago, I still do check-ins wherever I am. But that week there, I took time away. I did do check-ins, but I just spaced them out more. So that was just nice, just to chill. And hopefully we will get away again soon, now that restrictions are changing up. Also, Jenny competed on Sunday. She won first place, and she also took an overall.
It's a spy from behind my giant robot's eyes. I keep them happy because I might fall out.
So I'm not going to go too much into detail with this at the moment because this is Jenny's first show of the season. But first of all, it was great to meet her because I'm an online coach. It's the first time I've seen her in person. It was great to catch up. Her physique in person, like on pictures it's unreal, but in person, wow. Just got such a nice flow because she's got quite a lot of muscle, a nice pop on top of being lean. And her posing obviously has improved a lot over this phase, so just a really good like look on stage, so I was really happy with that. The first place in the actual in bikini class we're super happy with. The overall was a bonus. I'm sure she'll be enjoying looking at her sword, and now we're going for the PCA in 2 weeks, 13 days, 12 days, whatever it is, so she's just right back to it. You're going to see a slightly improved package coming in then, so look out for that one.
Scared of heights, so I might pass out if it flies. Keep them on autopilot, cause I can't drive. Room enough for one, I tell my homies they can't ride. Unless we're sitting on the shoulders, but that's way too high. Let's try not to step on the children.
Now, I'm just going to talk you through my recomp, how it went, how it was set up, and how it, well, hopefully, how it can help you set yours up the way that's needed to make it successful, because a recomp in general can be a bit of a difficult phase for numerous reasons, which I'll go through in a minute. For anyone that doesn't know, a recomp is, in theory, a dieting phase, but it's not a full phase in terms of a photo shoot prep or a prep for a show or getting to a seriously low level of body fat. It's a dieting phase where you're basically just priming yourself to push again. So removing fatigue, perhaps getting appetite back, blood work needs to be regulated and things like that. So for myself, I got to the point where I was 95 kilos, which is the heaviest I've been. My appetite wasn't really there, and my blood work was okay, to be fair. It wasn't that much off, but we'd just been pushing for a prolonged period, about 11.5 months. So coming into our recomp is just a good way to reset. Now, what can be hard for people with this is, as I said, it's not a full dieting phase, so it's almost a dieting phase without the end goal, which people find really difficult. Personally, I don't. Now, that's not because I'm amazing, but it's because for me, dropping weight's fairly easy, putting on weight's fairly hard. So I do find a recomp a little bit smoother. Now, I went from 95 kilos down to this morning, I was 83.5, which you've got to take into account is way too much. I'll put the photos up here, just of the check-ins. Slightly different poses, by the way, but that's because I've had posing coaching in between. Yeah, we've pulled in too much there, so we need to push that back up. I probably could have got away with it. 95 down to about 87. I wasn't shredded there, but you can see visible abs and stuff. The issue we had was we hadn't been in a cruise dose for long enough to push back up. So is what it is. It just means I'm starting from a leaner position. Funnily enough, my last weight for my shoot was 80 kilos. So I'm 3.5 kilos off that, but I don't feel like I'm dieting. Like, I've been having off-plan meals, which is programmed, by the way. Kyle programmed that in there. If he hadn't, I wouldn't be. And I've still had a social life. So it's a strange one. The way we set it up was nice and simple. So my start position, or when I was 95 kilos, I was on 4,700 calories. Steps were roughly averaging out about 5,500, 6,000, depending on what day, but that's roughly where it was. Training remained the same. We've just moved the program because we've got new kit, but same setup. Now, we went initially from that point down to 3,100 calories, so that's a fairly big drop, and we moved steps from 6,000 to 8,000, so a little bump up. No cardio has been done the whole time. So from that initial set point, I went from 85. You've also got to remember that we've not removed anabolics, but reduced them. So you will drop a little bit of water weight. I went from 85 down to, 95 down to 89 on those calories. No changes needed. I was dropping a kilo a week. My weight then held for a couple of weeks as I was getting visibly leaner. Now, what you've got to remember with this is, in a gaining phase, there's a point at the top where productivity does dip a little bit. So although you're the strongest you've been, recovery is not as good, it's harder to progress. As I came down that 6 kilos, my performance actually went up just because I was more cardiovascularly fit and I'm holding less body fat, so recovery is better, just moving a bit better. So logbook actually climbed a fair amount. We then pulled down calories to 2,650, and that's where they were for the rest of the phase, and that took me down from the 89 right the way down to 85. What actually happened was I was away for a few days with Robyn. Calories weren't being tracked. I was probably eating more than that. Weight came down. This week we've actually, or Cal's put my calories back up to kind of hit a baseline, but so I'm at 2,850 at the moment, which should hold me there, but I've actually dropped another kilo, so, or kilo and a half. It does happen. What's amazing about this this position is, I can see the amount of muscle I've put on from last year, so obviously a successful gaining phase in the whole. The other thing that's really cool for me is, now I'm not stage lean at the moment, so obviously the closer you get to that, you start to become more fatigued and things like that. But I'm fairly lean and I'm not that far off it, and energy levels are through the roof, mood's through the roof. I'm on less gear, so obviously adding that in would give my physique a fuller pop. My food's still high, and as I said, no cardio, so that should stand me in very good stead for going into prep next year. Now, this is going to be a long one, but I'll go through the other bits. If you're someone who struggles with recomps, here is the simple way to go about it. Rather than thinking about it's got no place and it's got no goal, you've got no goal, think about it like you're wanting it done as fast as possible to prime yourself to improve your physique. So if you get in and out fast and you stick to the plan, you're not going to be in a recomp for that long. I've had people that have recomped in 6 weeks. Some people it'll be 10. For me, it's around about, 10 just now, going into 11 next week. So that's fast. If you do it that way, Other people have to recomp and it's a lot longer because they struggle to stick to the plan. So you've got to think about it as it's that bridge in between you coming back down a little bit and then building more muscle. So you just need to get in and out as fast as you can. The other thing I like about it is it reminds you what dieting's like. It reminds you about all the little habits you have to do to achieve that physique you want. So we're in a good point, good spot. As I said with the vlogs, they'll kind of just be every couple of weeks now, just because this phase here, I'm trying to really focus on business sides of it. I've got a lot of clients, a few clients, competing, and then a few shoots. But also, as we're going up here, unless anything super exciting happens, like I put on 15 kilos of muscle in a week, there's not going to be that many changes happening. And just try to get it primed for when I start prep, which will be around about January, depending on when Cal sort of pencils that in. So anyway, peace out. It is a fucking lovely day in Dundee. It's Wednesday, I don't know the date. Get outside, get your steps in, get listening to something productive, and get on with it.